Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. Please make sure you thumbs up the video, leave a comment, subscribe, and if you could, support the channel because YouTube is, of course, doing all their best to make sure that this type of news does not get out. New polls show Democrats might actually lose their whole party, not just the election. Do you consider yourself a moderate? Please answer below. A new poll has come out asking the real questions. Do you self-identify as a moderate? A staggering 60% of all Americans self-identify as moderate. Even more eye-popping is that 60% is nearly 50-50 liberal Democrat versus Republican. So, when the mainstream media and Hillary calls the people that voted for Trump racist, white nationalists, far-right extremists, they are either lying, trying to scare people, or just plain don't know what they're talking about. Moderates voted Trump into office. Let's not forget the so-called far-right groups the media held up as boogeymen, when finally interviewed by Sanjeev Gupta, a liberal, were revealed to be actually all Democrat liberals, not far-right at all. In fact, no far-right group in America has been revealed to actually be right, nor Republican. All claims of racism, white nationalism, white supremacy, and staunchly embedded in the Democratic Party, and they are fringe people at best. It is becoming clear, with the party finally no longer protecting the Biden criminal activities, that they are removing the last remaining moderate in the presidential candidate with any numbers. They already destroyed the other few moderate Democrat presidential candidates from the beginning. CNN, as you saw in their recent things, saw to it to making them all look horrible according to the fringe progressive movement. With almost 100% certainty that a far-left Marxist being nominated as a Democratic presidential nominee, the vast majority of Democrat moderates are fleeing and making sure that such a person is and no other person is likely to be elected. But wait, there's more. With the push to talk about impeachment of President Trump, on the break, congressional representatives had a chance to go home and conduct town hall meetings. The overwhelming majority of voters who turned out at these meetings unapologetically told them to stop it. House representatives came back asking Pelosi to hold a House vote, or they feared they wouldn't have any chance at re-election come 2020. The moderates finally spoke up. Just to hammer home the point, pollsters actually ran mock votes, throwing in an independent. With the independent in the race, Trump wins every time, because the Democrats votes for the independent, splitting the Democratic vote to such a degree that Trump beats the Democrat. The poll was conducted on moderate Democrats. They concluded that easily 30% of the Democrats would destroy the Democratic Party's chances of winning in the upcoming election. And here we have nearly 50% already defecting, without any independent being declared. Now, I want to just break away from the script for a second. These polls were all conducted in the swing states. These are the states that you run a campaign in to make sure that you get your vote according to the moderates that live in those states. Other states are either red or blue or libertarian. There is a libertarian state, by the way. Finally, the media is banking on their constant claiming how evil President Trump is to scare voters into voting Democrat, when in fact, it has the opposite effect in swing states. They see blatantly that their congressmen and senators are not working with President Trump, and they want someone that will. End of story. In a Fox Unscientific poll in swing states, i.e., they just asked everyday people, farmers, etc., people just had Waffle Houses and stuff like that, not scientific, not anything, the repetitive statement is that Trump has done great for them in the swing states, especially farmers. They're very happy with what Trump has done, and Congress hasn't worked with them and made any deals for them. So they see that Trump has done great for them. They see that Congress has not worked with the president, and they think that they need to get some new blood in there because their congressman did not, in fact, work with the president to do anything. While tech giants and the mainstream media are all far-left Marxists, the vast majority of Democrats are not liberal and definitely not progressive. They all make money in spite of their strict adherence to this progressive Marxist communist socialist ideology, talking about the tech companies and the mainstream media. They are banking on another poll that showed that young people 18 to 25 have a huge percentage, 32%, mind you, that agree with the progressives or progressivism. But historically, even including the Obama years, young people don't vote. Oh, and if you want to know what ideas the moderate disagree with, here's a list. I want you to compare this list to what the progressives are championing and going forward with. Here we go. Open borders. Disagree. Free bathrooms for any gender. Disagree. Gender politics. Disagree. Health insurance for everyone. Disagree. The Green New Deal. Disagree. Free college for everybody. Disagree. Here's what all moderates, that's Republican moderates and Democratic moderates, agree on. Limited government. Background checks for guns. Comprehensive immigration reform. More healthcare reform, getting rid of Obamacare. Moderates do not see a home in the Democratic Party anymore. Congress and the presidential candidates have all swung far left, promising free healthcare to illegal immigrants and destroying all religion, as seen in last night's CNN Town Hall Rainbow presidential presentation, where candidates openly said they would shut down churches that wouldn't perform marriages and other stuff, regardless of their internal religious beliefs. And here is a postscript, a PS to this entire thing. They finally counted up and did a poll in Congress of who actually came in of the freshman congressmen. Now, we all know the squad or whatever. They're all extremist far left, right? Full socialist, full communist, right? Well, they forgot to mention that of all the Democrats that were voted into office in 2018, a majority of them were all moderate Democrats. They are not with this whole impeachment. They're not with this whole progressivism. And they are constantly trying to tell Pelosi they don't want any part of this. And with the town hall meetings, it was doubly sure that they don't want any part of this. If they go ahead with everything that they're trying to do with the media, with the tech companies, they're going to wind up without a party. Now, I have no opinion whatsoever about any of this. I am just reporting the facts, and my sources are Real Clear Politics, The Hill, The Review, what's her, what is her name? Ariana Huffington. Those are my sources for this script. None of this is Shakaama. Shakaama doesn't care about an immigrant. Shakaama doesn't care about who goes into what bathroom. Shakaama doesn't. I don't have children. I don't have a significant other. I could care less. I couldn't care any less about any of this stuff. This is not my opinion. These are facts that the news is reporting. So, if anybody is seeking to silence me, you're actually silencing the mainstream media. I just happen to dig up the 15th page of the newspaper and find a story and say, oh, I think I can make a video out of this. And guess what? You had all of the technically liberal magazines and newspapers last July predicting the same exact thing, that moderates are fleeing the Democratic Party. Moderates are fleeing the Democratic Party. As we have these debates and as CNN asks these questions, which CNN is now getting a taste of their own medicine, especially when they mention China and try and do CNN Sports. Did you know such a thing existed? And they try and mention China to at CNN at NBA press conferences. They're getting a taste of their own medicine and seeing that this is not what they're actually standing for. As a staunchly liberal, staunchly socially liberal, freedom of speech, right, type of organization, we're going to stand for the Democratic talking points. They have run into a brick wall when it comes to the NBA on this. Thank you all for watching. Again, this is not my opinion. This is from the mainstream media. You're not silencing me if you try and silence this. This is mainstream media. Thank you.